Hello, my gorgeous Aries. My name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium. And this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Erini, and it's for the actual August 2022. So now what I would like to stress is the fact that you are going to have a very interesting sign, especially when it comes to the actual 22nd, 23rd and 24th of August 2022. The sign that I'm talking about, it's going to mean to you so much, because at that moment in time you're going to feel something so personal, and that in itself is going to help you so much to reflect on what the next step is going to be, because this sign is all about a very powerful confirmation that you are going to have. And I know that this is going to mean to you so much, because it's a lot to do with you understanding at that moment in time not only what the next step it's actually going to be, but also most importantly how significant your life is going to actually be, how significantly your life is actually going to change as long as you make that necessary step indeed. So you will know exactly what you are going to need to do after that moment in time. On another hand, when it comes to the actual numerology, your number is number 18, 18. Now this is the number which is really clearly indicating the fact that there are two important stages that you're gonna go over when it comes to the month of August. The first important stage is literally going to be between the 1st and the 15th of August, and then the second important stage is going to be from the 15th of August until the 31st of August 2022. So now what is so significant about these stages? Listen to me very carefully, my gorgeous Aries. This is important because there are two aspects of your life that you're gonna need to work on so much. One aspect is to do with your feelings and emotions and the things that are making you unhappy. This is going to be highlighted within the first half, and within the second half what is actually going to be highlighted, the confirmation of what exactly do you need to do at this moment in time, and the way I started this reading with, and you will see how beautifully everything is actually going to connect. So this is what number 18 means. It means that you are reaching a very important stage of your life, but beforehand there are two important things, two important aspects that you're actually going to need to focus on, that you're going to need to deal with. And also at the same time, that sign that I was talking about that you're actually going to have, going back to that, it's not only about like, oh yeah, this is great, it's some kind of personal confirmation. It's going to be so much more than that. It's all about the actual optimism that you're going to feel, and at that moment in time this is going to create such a wonderful vortex of energy, which is at the same time going to be such a lovely kind of like homecoming time to yourself. Your spirit is about to return, and that in itself is naturally going to require from you to claim your destiny. Okay, so this is why this is going to be so important. And also it's all about the actual success that it's going to come out of it, because exactly 9 weeks after that moment in time, within the next 9 weeks, you are going to be really busy. You are going to be like pretty much, so you're going to feel really good, you're going to feel really optimistic, you're going to feel full of energy, and also there is a very big difficulty that you're going to be able to kind of like come to a very big difficulty in your life that was affecting your stability. It's going to come to an end with this, but at the same time it's all about your financial stability, doing the best possible thing, my gorgeous Erinis, but also at the same time it's just all about the actual really victorious moment in time. So it's to do with the success, it's to do with the financial stability, but it's also to do with you emotionally feeling really happy, and this in itself is just gonna really kind of mark a very active and determined stage. In fact, from the beginning of August until the end of August, pay attention to this activity that you're going to feel. Pay attention to the determination as well, because this is something that you must not ignore whatsoever, because determination An activity that you're going to feel, it's going to be really guiding you along the way, and it's going to be pointing out something very specific that you need to do, something very specific that is missing in your life, but it's to do with things that you're really experienced with and the things that you're working on already. So it's all about, having really great ideas, by the same time, doing absolutely the best possible thing you actually can when it comes to you removing yourself slowly but surely from the stage and the part of your life that has been making you really unhappy. And also on another hand, you are gonna really be aware of it around the mid-August as well, that by doing this and by taking this path, you're also going to really feel so pleased with yourself in so many different ways. You're gonna feel a little bit cocky, but in the best possible way. You are gonna start feeling very, very pleased with yourself, and when you reach that level of energy, you become literally unstoppable. So what I want you to understand that this can reflect on so many different ways, especially that part of your life that you feel so stuck with is just something that you're going to have such a wonderful opportunity to actually do something so special about it. So for example, if you're looking for work, and if you're looking for a new job and things like that, this is the month to go for, because you're going to feel very powerful, but your energy is going to feel different, and your energy is going to be inviting in the best possible way. And if you're looking for some kind of promotion as well, it's the time to kind of throw yourself into all sorts of opportunities, but at the same time, you're going to be shining very brightly. You're going to be noticed quite a lot, although you may not kind of be able to kind of recognize this and realize this at that moment in time, but this in itself is going to work remarkably for you when it comes to you being noticed by the right people. I'm not saying being noticed by some weird people, blah blah blah. No baby, no. I'm talking about you being noticed by the right people. So wherever you are, you are at whichever point in your life you actually are, you're gonna have that moment, where you are gonna be able to heal this with your own energy. And if you're retired also, it's all about you really feeling very strong urge and very strong determination, to step forward and do something that you wanted to do in such a long time. But that the life is kind of constantly changing, persistently changing, which requires us to change with it at the same time, which doesn't mean that we need to change our mind when we are thinking about certain things. But then again, there is so much that you became aware of over the last couple of years that you are going to be able to actually apply into your life throughout the month of August, especially when it comes to avoiding those things in life that you do not want to repeat ever again. At the same time, I want you to understand, my gorgeous Erinis, how important it is to protect your own energy, to protect your own vibration, and that you can only do by going through life and just basically using your own intuition so much. And this is so important, especially when it comes to the period and stage at around the 25th of August, where you're going to be facing the situation where you're going to really kind of start questioning quite a lot about yourself and start questioning quite a lot around you, because the information that you're going to hear, you're going to find quite mind-blowing, and this is going to kind of throw you out of the balance a little bit. But this information has got nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your life personally, but you have been affected by this, you see. So this is kind of only going to work really beneficial for you. This is going to be quite beneficial for you in so many different ways, but especially when it comes to you realizing and understanding exactly what do you want to avoid, and the power of your own intuition and the power of following your own voice within, but at the same time the power of making your own decision when you feel like it, when you're pleased, when you feel like it, when you want to make them. I'm not saying that you were making decision according to other people, but I'm just saying that lots of people have been kind of stuck in a little limbo, purely because subconsciously lots of people felt a little bit scared and a little bit negative, and that was kind of reflecting on other people, on so many other things in life. But it affects you in such a way where it's draining your energy and makes you feel tired really soon when you're facing something that you shouldn't be so tired about. And this is a clear sign of this particular particular changes in your life. On another hand, you know, this is brilliant because also really specifically when the actual process of your own transition and change is going to start, it's actually going to be at around the 12th of August. But specifically on the 12th of August, you see, pay attention to the actual 12th of August, what is going to be on your mind from the first moment in the morning. And also 11th of August is going to be quite significant, and the 13th of August. But the 12th of August is going to be like a big mama moment, especially when it comes to you kind of facing something, but which is going to have a very strong connection with your dreams, but also it is going to be a clear sign and indication that you are going through your own transition, through your own change, and that in itself is going to really be connected to you suddenly wanting to do something that you wanted to do for a while, but you were worried, you were scared, you thought that it wasn't the right time. So now you're just going to suddenly feel very keen and very eager, and now suddenly, you know, there are lots of elements of your life that are going to start not making sense anymore. Lots of elements of your lives that made you feel like really uncomfortable, especially when it comes to you feeling really bored. Now this is going to be highlighted. So this is a very good sign of the beginning of the change, but it is also a very good sign of the ability which you're going to have, a sacred ability to see things for what they are, to know things for what they are, but at the same time to feel things through your own spirit and through your own soul, especially when it comes to like also having an additional view which is going to give you a power of understanding and reflecting on the situation and making the most of it, especially in the actual way of you understanding what it is, but also understanding that there's so many other angles that you can see this situation from. There's so many other aspects that you can kind of pay attention to this situation. And this, my gorgeous Aries, it's going to be an absolutely golden moment when it comes to you. Indeed, you know, you will just like feel so good. You will want to see like you want to come out of yourself. You're going to feel re-energized. You're going to feel like you want to communicate, you want to talk, you want to kind of carry on living your life in the best possible way. I'm not saying that you weren't living your life in the best possible way, but I'm just saying that this energy is going to be absolutely undeniable, impossible to ignore. So it's all about you understanding, you know, also at the same time that there is going to be like a willing sacrifice that you're going to need to make. And that sacrifice is going to be highlighted again within the last 7 days of August 2022. The sacrifice is going to be highlighted indeed, and this is going to be needed for your own readjustment when it comes to your own regeneration and rebirth. This is going to be absolutely a must. You know that basically throughout the months of August you are going to feel such a wonderful creativity, and this creativity is just something that you really need to make the most of it. So every single time when you're facing the part of your life that makes you feel so happy and makes you feel so creative, this is your sign from the divine that this is an aspect of your life that it's also going to help you to see things through, you know. It's also going to help you to get where you need to get, but it's also, without you even realizing, it's going to provide you with a spiritual shortcut. These are the golden spiritual moments that you're going to be going throughout the month of August. Every single time when you feel this absolutely mind-blowing bursts of creativity, it's not only about you enjoying yourself and doing things, but it's also once you find yourself like a tempering within that powerful vibration, there's so many ideas that you're going to have, and these ideas are also, you know, are going to be absolutely so beneficial at this moment in time, because it's going to come instinctively, of course, but on another hand it's going to provide you with a brand new fresh perspective, you know, at that moment in time. So it's all about trying to reflect on your mind and think, what were you thinking at that moment in time, because very often you get that answer when you kind of, which you were like kind of like a least expecting, like literally, you know. And also from the beginning of August you can understand, my gorgeous Aries, it's pretty much so the beginning of you getting confidence finally to get you know, so much done, you know. And something that you learned not that long ago will make you very curious to learn even more, especially when it comes to the actual stage and the period in between the 11th and the 20th 21st of August 2022. So now, my gorgeous Erini, I'm just going to see when it comes to the actual health. It is very important for you to understand this. In my last month's video, I said an importance of actually taking a natural vitamin D3 and natural zinc. This is something that every single one of us should be actually taking, and especially when it comes to you, zinc is going to help you so much to combat, you know, like things like, especially when it comes to the actual low immune system and things like that. And then natural vitamin D3 you're going to find ridiculously beneficial, especially when it comes to the actual sensitive bones. Okay, so this is something that you're going to find super beneficial, because second month running I'm seeing that you are going to have a little bit of sensitive bones. So don't be surprised if you kind of wake up in the morning and then you feel like a little bit of pain, you know, like within your bones. So this is why the actual natural vitamin D supplement is so important. On another hand, what else you should be taking, my gorgeous Erinis, would be organic chlorella. Organic chlorella is absolutely a must. This is a complete wonder magical supplement, and I strongly recommend this for every single person to take. Organic chlorella, it is so important because it's naturally a super powerful supplement, and it's going to provide you lots of omega-3s. It's going to provide you omega-3s. It's going to provide you lots of vitamins, lots of minerals. It's absolutely superb, and it's rich in protein, and it's most importantly, it helps you so much to combat so many kind of like illnesses and things like that. And especially when it comes to the actual metal, yes, I said metal, you know, I'm sorry, my gorgeous Erinis, but the metal is like literally all around us. The metal is all around us. So when the metal is all around us, this is not very good. And over the last 10 years, the amount of metal around us actually increased so much. There is a metal, aluminium, okay? Aluminium is like in the ground, in the air, it's absolutely everywhere. And especially when it comes to the last 10 years, it's doubled up like really horribly. And this in itself, it's really kind of like making people like weird, and it's making people, it's affecting our immune systems, and it's also affecting us in so many different ways. It's affecting our way of thinking, it's affecting our mind. So this is why you need to be taking organic chlorella supplement. This is something that I'm gonna be screaming until everybody understands the importance of this. Okay, I decided to have my own brand name purely because it was very difficult to find the actual supplements that are superb, very high quality indeed out there. So I decided to make my own supplements, which are absolutely without any superior quality supplements. These are indeed, but they're absolutely without any unnecessary ingredients whatsoever, because they're putting all sorts of like terrible things, some, you know, people within their natural supplements. So if you want to get like a natural vitamin D3, I've got it here. And if you want to get like a natural, where is it, sorry, zinc picolinate, this is all going to be in the link below, in the description below, right at the bottom. And also organic chlorella, this is a big mama. You see this organic chlorella, this is again my own supplement. This is something I highly recommend you. It's going to be so good for your brain as well. Just remember, it contains omega-3s, you know, and these omega-3s are like absolutely essential. We should all be taking this indeed. Okay, if you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous Erinis, or not. So now, going on the very first date that I would like to recommend to you, it will be the 1st of August. Pam, pam, pam. Of course, that this is a big mama. I told you, the 1st of August, everything is going to start changing. You can just imagine, my gorgeous Aries, it's like almost as if you're like walking through the brand new door. And once you walk through this brand new door, everything is going to everything is going to look completely the same, but it's going to feel completely different. There is some kind of bravery that you're going to start having through from the 1st of August. And it's all this confidence, you know, and it's a lot to do with your own self-esteem and things that are going to bring you to this moment in time. From the very 1st of August, you know, you are going to feel like you want to transform your goals into ideas. Just remember, this life is too short. We are 10, we are 20, we are 30, we are 40, we are 50, we are 60, we are 70, we are 80, we are 90, we are 100. Life is too short. It goes like that. Make the most of it. Just remember this, okay? So it's the 1st of August. It's also bringing you the moment where you will want to transform your ideas, and your goals into reality. And that in itself, it's going to require a rather skillful action from you. But then again, at the same time, you're just going to feel so confident, and your confidence is indeed your power. Remember that you do indeed have all the resources that you possibly need. And then again, there is some kind of intuitive awareness that you are going to have, some kind of psychic message that you are going to have. And this in itself, it's going to bring you like a kind of towards the certain contemplation. Contemplation, when it comes to this contemplation, my gorgeous Erini, so it's all about the actual emotional maturity in order to make the most of it, and in order to come up with the best possible kind of outcome when it comes to this contemplation. For once, you're just always honest with yourself. You listen to your inner voice, you listen to the voice within, but then at the same time, you just need to remember to be emotionally mature. Emotionally mature is going to be needed in order to contain and pertain this particular balance. And what is this like all about? Bam, bam, bam. All this is about a new plan. It's to do with a new plan, but it's to do with an old wish, my babies. Okay, so it's to do with a new plan, but it's to do with an old wish, But at the same time, it's to do with an attempt that you had at some moment in time. So now, this is going to give you so much hope, and your hope is going to give you so much confidence. And that in itself is going to be the driving factor, especially when it comes to you stumbling upon the moment where you're going to feel like a bit of an uncertain effort, so it's all good, baby, but then again, on another hand, this new plan, it was all kind of delayed, it was all kind of delayed, but that's nothing to worry about at this moment in time, because now things are nicely, slowly but surely, are going to start moving on. What you also need to remember within the 1st and the actual 13th of August, you need to remember to follow your own good advice, my gorgeous Aries. You need to remember to trust yourself, and you also need to remember what? You know the best. You know the best. What is the best for you? Okay, just remember this, that you know the best. You know best what is the best for you. Just remember this, okay? The second important date, my gorgeous Erinis, it's going to be on the 14th of August. Now, the 14th of August is like, oh Lord, first of all, this is going to be a very interesting day, because first of all, you're going to feel like a bit of a hermit moment, you're going to feel very deep. You're going to feel like, I wouldn't say down, but you're going to feel very, very deep indeed, like almost down, but this down feeling, this downer, it's going to kind of bring you at this moment in time where you actually should be. And that you just need to remember that at the same time, it's gonna, this moment of like your own hermit moment where you just kind of are withdrawn a little bit, and you're going to be thinking quite a lot. You're going to go very deep. You're going to kind of be going all over the place with your mind, almost like you're going to be blaming yourself for like, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that. That doesn't absolutely matter. What is going to be very interesting here is that something, when you have this hermit moment, you're going to feel very deep. It's in fact the 14th, 15th and 16th of August, you're going to feel very deep, but there is a very interesting realization that it's going to come to the surface. And at that moment in time, you're just going to know that you absolutely had enough of not doing what you know that you should be doing. But at the same time, you will have enough of the certain delays in your life. So this is going to work remarkably for you, because it's going to enhance your own power. And it's at the same time going to be so brilliant, because something is going to come to the surface so nicely, and that in itself, it's also going to be like so good, because it's all about the mental strength and courage and clarity that you are going to have, but especially when it comes to knowing what strategy do you need to follow, but at the same time, it's about the strong communication. Your hermit moment, it's also going to make you aware of what and when and why do you need to kind of like really have a strong conversation conversation. You're going to need to have a strong conversation with someone, and your hermit mode is going to like kind of show you almost like kind of who's standing in your way. No, literally, but you will know what I mean. So this is all about the strong communication and the importance of it as well. And also, you know, I like it so much because at around the 14th of August as well, you're going to be thinking, oh my God, what I wonder what will happen next. I think that you're going to be thinking a lot what is going to happen next. And I like this so much because it's all about you becoming ready for adventure, but also you wanting to participate in this change, and also you understanding that the little pause before the actual action is going to be so necessary, because that pause also, it's on another hand going to show you how mature and responsible you are, and you're also going to realize how reliable you are and why you're so reliable with certain aspects of your life. And this is going to be your sign that this is something that you should do, and this is something that you should be patient about, but most importantly something that you should be so persistent about, because at the same time it's about the organization but also the actual your own capability. It's all about, you know, your own kind of devotion and what means to you so much, what makes you feel so happy, what makes you feel so excited, you know. And this in itself, it's all going to boil down towards something very specific, but especially when it comes to you offering kind of more effort towards something very, very specific here, a very specific goal indeed. By the time you get to the 30th and the 31st of August, my gorgeous Aries, you know, you're going to come across some kind of like, oh Lord, like a little bit of unrealistic person here, somebody very unrealistic, you know, and that in itself, it's only going to show like kind of like very unrealistic and rather illogical thinking here. And this in itself, it's actually really going to kind of, in a one way, it's going to surprise you, but then on another hand, you're going to feel so pleased with yourself because you're going to realize how smart you are, how clever you are, how intelligent you are, and how sharp you are as well. So this is on another hand going to be beneficial for you because it's only going to kind of show you exactly what what personal effort do you want to kind of continue with, what do you need to be committed when it comes to your life and when it comes to the certain tasks that you are actually facing. So it's to do with your practical knowledge, but it's also to do with the moment of strength where you're going to realize, you know, that there is a very important negotiation coming up, and this negotiation, it's already going to come up within the 30th and the 31st of August 2022, and that negotiation is going to be brilliant because it's also kind of going to bring you resolution of a problem, because the conclusion is going to come through this negotiation, but at the same time healing is going to come through this, satisfactory result is going to come through this, you're going to have such a great fulfillment, and that in itself, it's going to inspire you so much, especially when it comes to, for one, your determination is bringing you the whole new initiative, it's bringing you strength, you know, it's going to make you so active, it's going to bring you so much power, success, and deep emotional feeling. I really like this so much because, as I said, on one hand, you know, this means that you're going to find yourself on a wonderful spiritual quest at a time when your determination is going to be highlighted, but also what else is going to be highlighted through all this, you know what? An unrealized project. This is something that you really need to go for because it's going to make you so financially stable, and this in itself is going to be absolutely obvious. What else I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Aries, it would be bracelet jasper, absolutely gorgeous and rather important pendant to wear throughout August, September, and even October. Every single time when you need a little bit of grounding, every single time when you need a little bit of clarity, every time when you need a little bit of focus, you know, this brings so much out of you, especially when it comes to the actual time of transformation, when we are thinking a lot, when we are kind of focusing a lot, and there is so much happening around us. You know, this really helps us to kind of keep things under control, and especially when it comes to like juggling with lots of things and working with lots of different things, you know, this helps you like to keep focus and not to kind of lose yourself in everything. This bracelet jasper comes with sterling silver chain, And the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Erini, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say that. So now, my gorgeous Erinis, I'm just going to see briefly what is going to happen within the first part of August, mid part of August, and the last part of August. My little advice here, okay? So the first part of August, there is going to be like a very much so, very curious dream that you're going to have, that you're going to become aware of. And that dream is going to be directly responsible for you grounding yourself, but it's also going to be directly responsible for to you, my gorgeous Erinis, to return to the actual reality when it comes to you coming home to yourself. Also, at the time like that, I highly recommend you like a strawberry quartz. It's absolutely gorgeous, because strawberry quartz, it really helps you a lot with communication. It helps you a lot to open yourself up. It helps you a lot to talk. It helps you a lot to say the right thing, and especially when we feel a little bit uncomfortable and we don't feel okay within ourselves, you know, sometimes we just need a little bit of push, something that helps us to kind of like open ourselves up. It depends who we are dealing with, but at the same time it depends what we are focusing on, and it depends how important the stage of our life we are facing. So for the communication and talking and that balance, I highly recommend you to get a strawberry quartz. So every single time when you talk about something important, when you're even thinking about something important, when you start doing something important, when you talk to important people who are like making you feel a bit weird, you know, you always need that little bit of like kind of like can you hear this? This is your sign. You need this. But every single time when you need something like to kind of come out of yourself, strawberry quartz, it's absolutely brilliant. This is also something I highly recommend you, and the link is in the description below. The mid part of this August, you know, it's like about an inspiration. The inspiration is going to come to you when you have this creative spark, and that in itself, it's also going to be the beginning of something really special here. Like you're gonna plant this spiritual seed that is most certainly going to grow into some really prominent part of your life later on. And sorry. And the third part of August, my gorgeous Erinis, it's all about you understanding there is going to be a very strong connection in between you and the actual nature. I know this sounds weird, but it is going to be very strong connection in between you and nature. Use nature as a healing resource. So if you possibly can, take a little pause, you know, take a little break, you know, try to relax a little bit and try to protect your creativity. You're going to find this so beneficial. If you can, possibly try to kind of like visit the nature, especially at around the end of August, like ground yourself, touch the ground, hug the tree and things like that, and exchange your energy with the actual nature. You're gonna find this absolutely super delicious, especially when it comes to the inspiration and regeneration that comes out of it. And also, you know, it just like kind of opens up so many psychic channels at the same time. This is something I really highly recommend you to do. And now, my gorgeous Erinis, when it comes to the actual couples, I mean, this is brilliant for the couples, because it's like a really important understanding gonna happen here. You know, very important moment of the actual understanding, which is going to be highlighted on the 2nd of August, 12th of August, and 22nd of August. These 3 days are especially going to highlight this understanding, and this understanding is so important when it comes to the cooperation. So this is so brilliant, which means that maybe you just kind of had a little problem or little disagreement, or you just couldn't kind of agree on something very specific. So now the things are about to change, so there is a really wonderful understanding coming forward. It's fantastic, because it means the karma with that is coming to an end, and also it's going to provide you with the actual cooperation. So pay attention to exactly 3 days at the end of this August for the couples, you know, because it is going to provide you with an opportunity. The second stage of that, it is going to be an opportunity for both of you, important opportunity. When it comes to those of you who are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Erinis, you see, oh gosh, you know, I think it's like Jesus. It's like more like a couple of people that you know, I don't know, it's you still, there is still something not quite right, because there are a couple of people here that are going to be kind of going through your mind when it comes to those of you that are single. So one person is going to be connected to like a past from before. Somebody's still on your mind. You need to let that person go. Maybe you're not even aware of it, but you need to let them go, because that obviously came to an end. But then on another hand, there is someone really specific that you are gonna come across. I know this is gonna sound like, oh God, you know, but there is another person that you're gonna come across at around the 27th of August, and at around the 17th of, in between the 17th of August and the 27th of August, there is another person that is gonna come through. I'm really sorry, but this is again someone who is not really good, who's very unrealistic, and somebody who's like not really nice person whatsoever, not necessarily evil, but they're like kind of all over the place. So there are two people here that you should really go over. For one is like from the past, you need to let them go. It's fine, now it's time. And this other person that you're gonna become aware of just now within these dates that I actually said, I know this sounds like, oh my God, another one I need to let go. No baby, no, this is a challenge. Now if you recognize why this person is not for you, when you recognize why this person is not for you, the second person, at that moment in time, is something is going to unlock within. This is the moment that I'm waiting. This is the moment that you are waiting, because after that moment in time, only then you will be ready for a new person to enter your life. Okay, my gorgeous Erinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.